Imagine if you were watching a game show where there was a contestant and there was a host, and the host said, I have a combination of numbers in my head that is 500 million digits long. All you have to do, contestant, is recite this combination of numbers, this sequence of numbers, in the exact order that I'm thinking of them. And you're watching the game show, and the contestant successfully recites the exact sequence in the exact order. There's really only two options. Number one, it was a fix, and somehow he just knew the numbers. Someone was feeding him the numbers through a microphone. Number two, it was chance, and he just guessed the numbers. Which one do you think seems more likely? And what would you think if I came around and said to you, you seriously think that was a fix? You're an idiot for thinking that that's a fix. That was clearly chance. And to think anything else is actually ridiculous. You would laugh in my face, of course, because the suggestion that someone could ever happen to guess a sequence of numbers that complex just seems unbelievable, completely unbelievable. So why is it that we look at the universe, which is comprised of countless qualities that make it the way that it is, that make it possible for life to exist, and that if these constants were slightly dialed up or slightly dialed down, either life wouldn't exist or even nothing would exist? If I think they call it the gravitational constant, was turned up even just the slightest bit, allegedly everything would just collapse. I don't know these things, this is just what I've heard the science says. If the gravity was turned down ever so slightly, everything would be nothing would hold together, just, right? And yet we don't have either of those outcomes. We have the perfect amount where not only is everything sustainable to just exist in terms of the planets, the solar systems, the universe as a whole, but life is even possible. And think about how many more qualities you need to be absolutely perfect for life to be present. And allegedly could not have been any other way, any single other way. So this argument for God is called the fine-tuning argument, which suggests that the universe is like that 500 million digit sequence in that game show analogy, right? The way I heard this argument explained, there's really only three answers to how the universe could be finely tuned in this way. Number one is necessity, that it for some reason had to be designed in this exact way. Secondly, chance, that it just randomly is this way. It could have been any way and it randomly is this way. And, you know, looking at that game show analogy, like I said, I think that is practically impossible to conceive of. And yet, ironically, I think that's actually the answer that most people posit. And then lastly, design. You know, that it's purposely this way by design. Personally, I feel that this really just feels like a case of inference to the best explanation. And I find it odd that the same people who laugh at the suggestion that God created the universe, very often those are atheistic, scientifically minded people. If you were to take one of those people and put them in any other instance where they had these three options, I think they would laugh at chance and necessity and clearly suggest design. So like, if you were to show someone a safe that had been opened, right, and the lock is on the floor and it's a combination lock, and it's clearly been opened with the exact combination, And I said, how has this happened? How do you logically minded person, how do you think this safe has been opened to this exact combination? There must be three options. Either it's just randomly the case that somehow this lock just unlocked on its own, just randomly, or an object fell on the lock and happened to knock the combination in the exact order that just unlocked it. Of course not, right? Necessity, it just had to unlock in this moment. For some reason, for literally no reason. That I have, why would it have to unlock in that moment? I don't know. I have no possible explanation for why that would have been the case. Or lastly, someone came in and just opened the lock. They knew the combination and they unlocked it. Which is an intelligent action by an intelligent being. That's just something that we know people with intelligence are able to do. That follows. That's something you expect from an intelligent being, is an act of intelligence. You don't expect something that improbable to happen by chance, and you don't expect something that improbable to happen by necessity when there's no grounding for that necessity to occur. I don't know. I feel like I'm like waffling right now, to be honest. Like, I just listened to a podcast and I heard this fine-tuning argument spoken about, and I thought it was really interesting. Yeah, let me know what you think and see you in the next one.